Hey, what's up guys, how's it going, and welcome to a new video today. So I want to make a vid talking about the Skillcape perks, of course, since it's a pretty cool update that I've been looking forward to for a while now since I started talking about it, and it just came out today. So for any of you guys who aren't aware, each level 99 Skillcape has its own special little benefit, and the Max Cape has all the benefits at once. So I'll be showing all of them through the Max Cape, like the ones that are particularly useful, but I will flash up on screen now the perks like listed out. I'm not going to go through each one of them like specifically because some of them are pretty useless. And also, you can just read through it, and I'll link the news post in the description as well if you guys want to read through that. But yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff related to having level 99 in a given skill, and at least most of them have some small use, and some of them have some pretty noticeably good uses. So one that's really cool is the crafting guild, or the crafting cape perk, which teleports you to the crafting guild, and this is a right-click option on the crafting cape and the max cape, and you can be using it unlimited times per day. And there's now a bank chest in the crafting guild for anyone who's unaware. It's been there since Diaries came out, so almost a year, I guess, at this point. You have to have Felidor Hard done to use this bank chest, so the crafting cape isn't really that useful unless you have Felidor Hard also. But I'll show you the teleport. I just use it obviously because I'm here. It spawns you to this point. I'm pretty sure it's exactly this point always. Let's actually try that out. Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's always exactly this point. So it's pretty much the same distance, like time to get to the bank chest as it is Castle Wars, and you don't have to use dual rings. From what Trent said, I guess it's apparently about 0.5 ticks slower on average because the Castle Wars teleport isn't always the same spot. Sometimes it spawns you closer or further. I think it varies between 3 and 5 ticks actually to get to the bank at Castle Wars. But either way, it's a nice little thing. It's like pretty much exactly the same as Castle Wars, if anything maybe a teeny bit slower, but it also saves you a little bit of money since you don't have to be using dual ring charges. And if you ever run out of dual ring charges and you fucked up, then you got your backup with the crafting cape. But yeah, I don't know if it's quite as useful if you don't have a max cape, since the agility cape perk is also a very cool one, and it acts as a graceful cape. So yeah, I'll show you guys. Like, if I take off my max cape, my weight goes up, I guess. So my max cape is acting as a graceful cape. It gives me both the set effect and the weight reduction, so it's really cool to have. And the max cape still does have just Skillcape stats, so the +4 prayer and the +9 defense bonuses, but it also has the weight reduction. Actually, let's see exactly. I think it's -5. Oh wait, no, you can't see that because I shouldn't have mentioned. Yeah, but it's -5 weight reduction for the graceful cape / max cape, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, the max and agility hoods do not act as graceful hood. I was hoping they would do that because that would be kind of cool, but they didn't bother, which is a little bit of a bummer. But they didn't do anything with any of the other hoods, so they probably just wanted to keep it consistent. As far as other things, you can teleport to the Warriors Guild. I think that's on the attack cape, or maybe that's strength. Yeah, that's strength cape. And then with the attack cape, you can get into the Cyclops areas for free. So I might actually go and quickly grab a second defender. I may as well get a placeholder since I don't have to bother doing any of the things to actually. Well, speaking of that, I do have like 2,000 of these tokens, so it doesn't really matter that much to me, but maybe I'll do it just for the hell of it anyways. Fishing Guild teleport isn't really too amazing. Yeah, it's pretty far away from my bank, but I guess if you happen to want to go to the Fishing Guild, it would have been good when I was going for my big shark for my trophy collection thing. Ooh, somebody with a Slayer Cape fishing. Big net fishing. They must be going for a big bass or something. Interesting. Let's see what else. Chinchampa teleports. You can go to either the Black Chins in the Wilderness, which is obviously dangerous, so don't misclick that. And this is on the Hunter Cape, by the way. And then you can go to the Feldup Hills. I think this is limited to daily, but I'm not actually sure. Let me check that. Yeah, it's 5 daily, so don't squander these. But this will actually be useful for any hunter really, because it teleports you to pretty much the same spot as the Feldup Hills telescrolls do, and you don't have to use a telescroll, so that's always cool. So I'll be using that whenever I'm going to do hunter. The POH portals are actually quite useful for farming. This is from the construction cape. You get 5 daily free teleports to any POH portal, so you can use these to replace Taverley and Brimhaven tabs if you have the construction cape. So I'm going to be using that on my farm runs, which is pretty cool. Just save myself a little bit of money and a couple of inventory spaces. And then you can spellbook swap 5 or 1 times a day. Oh, it's only once per day that you can spellbook swap. You can spellbook swap from any spellbook to any other spellbook, which could possibly allow like TB and then be instantly on Ancients, but you'd have to take extra inventory spaces, and you could possibly splash the TB, and you can only use it once per day, so it's not going to be a huge change. And then features, pestle and mortar, you can spawn as many pestle and mortars as you want with the with the Irregular Cape, which is extremely useful. Myth grappling crossbows from the Fletching Cape, you can get yourself those, which maybe would be good for God Wars. I don't really know. The defense cape can act as a ring of life indefinitely, but you can toggle it also, so I have that turned off because rings of life are annoying, and you can change where your ring of life respawn is. It's kind of weird though because it only has Edgeville and Ardoin, and I would assume that you could also spawn in Lumbridge and Camelot, so I'm not sure why I can't choose those, but Edgeville is the best spot anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. And yeah, so those are some of the pretty useful perks. Another one that's really nice is the Hit Points Cape. The Hit Points Cape makes it so that your health regens at double the rate. It's basically the same thing as having the Rapid Heal Prayer on all the time. So it stacks with the Regen Brace, and it doesn't stack with the Prayer itself. So you can use this in place of Prayer Gear for Pyramid Plunder if you have either a Max Cape or a Hit Points Cape. And basically you can wear like whatever you want in Plunder, not worry about your prayer bonus, which is kind of cool. So I've been kind of waiting for that. Panic Cell Holy Sandals, for real. Probably shouldn't have said that. The Holy Sandals are still useful for DKs, so if you ever do DKs, keep them for that. And I think Pures use them or something, I don't know. But anyways, that's another cool perk. And none of the other perks are really that amazing. I guess if you do herb runs, the Farming Cape has a 5% increased yield from herb patches that stacks with Magic Secateurs, so you might want to do that. And yeah, nothing else is really that amazing. I guess the Range Cape acts as an Ava's Accumulator, which could be good for things like God Wars, where you want to have Prayer Bonus and the Ava's Effect. Actually, Max Cape will probably be the best cape to wear for DKs as well, because you get the Hit Points regen, you get 4 Prayer Bonus, and you get the Ava's Device Effect, which is it. And also the Prayer Cape acts as a Holy Wrench. But if you're wearing a Ring of the Gods, usually wear a Ring of the Gods to DKs, so that doesn't even matter because it doesn't stack with the Ring of the Gods. So let's see if this free access works. I don't care what Camfrina is offering upstairs. You need tokens to fight my Cyclops. No exceptions. What? So how do I make this work then? The attack cape is free access to the Cyclops found upstairs. Oh, upstairs! Well, fuck that then. That's fucking useless. It says upstairs, so it doesn't work for Dragon Defenders then. I guess it's kind of useful if you completely lose your defenders, but yeah, that's kind of dumb. I didn't realize that. Well, that's kind of lame. But yeah, that's the attack cape perk anyways. It doesn't. Let's make sure I'm not just being stupid and make sure it actually does work upstairs and just not downstairs though. Alright, so you can recognize your skill cape, so yeah. It's just the downstairs that you can't get into, so that's kind of boring. But I do have like 2k Warrior Skill tokens, so maybe I will go ahead and get a placeholder Dragon Defender anyways, since I have all those. The only other couple that may come in handy at some point are the Cooking Cape makes it so you never burn food, so you'll be able to cook like dark crabs and sea turtles, manta rays, stuff like that. That doesn't really change too much though, because dark crabs give 215 XP. I think that manta rays are like 216.3 or something, which I think are technically the highest XP for a standard fish, but it's better to just cook Karambwans 2-tick or do wine still. The profit might be decent from dark crabs or something though. We'll have to see how that works out. But also I guess you could cook summer pies if it works for them without burning, which could be interesting also. I'm not sure if that would really matter though. But yeah, cooking is another one that may have some kind of effects on some things. And then the Smithing Cape acts as Goldsmithing Gauntlets, which isn't really relevant unless you have a Max Cape, because if you have a Max Cape and you're doing Blast Furnace, then you could wear the Max Cape for the Graceful effect and for the Goldsmith effect, and be able to have the full Graceful set effect while doing Blast Furnace with gold bars, which is, you know, basically a very minimal difference, but it's something. And also, well, the Runecrafting Cape acts as all tiaras at once, which is pretty damn useless. They could have done something cooler with Runecrafting. I'm a little bit bummed about that. They could have made it so your pouches are grade slower, or you get like 1 or 2 extra runes per craft, or something little like that. There are a couple other things that people thought up that would be interesting as well, that I'm forgetting right now. The only time that it'll ever come in handy is if you have a Max Cape, then you can wear full Graceful while doing lavas, which only is, like, if you have a Max Cape and you do Altscape basically, then, and you want to do post 99 RC on lavas, which like nobody does at this point anyways. But yeah, you could have a graceful set effect while doing lava since you need to wear a fire tiara. And you'd have the Graceful Cape and the tiara all in your max cape, but yeah, not really too amazing there. But you guys can check out the rest of the perks. I'll put them up on screen again, and that's about all I have for this vid, so feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.